real money. Real money, okay? So when I hear any central bank say that they are fighting inflation, it really ticks me off because the reality is the way the system was designed and built, it has inflation baked into it. So they create the inflation that they are then swooping in and going to save us from. It's complete garbage. Complete, utter, absolute garbage. So any kind of experiments, that's all they are. Is it going to work? Who knows? It's a big experiment, but most likely not, because the reality is they may change policy, but they don't change behavior. Don't change behavior. So can they stop with all of the money printing? No. In my opinion, that would be a no. But hey, I could be wrong. Let's just see what happens. Because you always have to look at where is your bread buttered. And truthfully, with all of the lobbying that goes on in Wall Street, especially between big pharma and also between big tech, whose pocket do you really, I hate to say this, I really do, it kills me to say this, but whose pocket do you really think that these politicians are in? Okay, it's the fat cats. And they change the rules so that maybe they legalize behavior, but essentially, remember 2008, did anybody go to jail for it? Can't make this stuff up. You just can't. So what's next? Well, desperate governments do desperate things. So here's a great example. Kazakhstan says it seized a mine over alleged environmental safety breaches. Okay, they'll always make up an excuse, whether it's real or not. Go fight them. Because over the weekend, the mine is now 100% owned by Kazakhstan and only formalities remain. That is, the necessary documents must be signed, and this will be done because these are gold mine productions and gold is real money. That's why central bankers accumulate it and hold it, right? And for Kazakhstan, gold production is the largest source of revenue. And this particular mine is the biggest single contributor to its gross domestic product. So what governments do, desperate governments do desperate things. And what they do is they take over the real wealth. So whatever you hold in the system is easy to access because it is not in your physical possession. If they want my gold, they have to come find me and they have to find my gold. I might be pretty easy to find, but I don't keep my gold near me. And who's to say? It's physical. I mean, this is what I give for weddings, for baby showers. I mean, I give physical metal, so just saying. Now look, we've looked at a bunch of things that went back to 2008. I maintain without one doubt in my mind, that the system died in 2008. And it was just put on life support. But what did they change in 2008 for their income model? Wow, they created an endowment funded by gold profits. So for these central banks, for the IMF in particular, gold performed its most important function, which is as a savings vehicle. It saves your purchasing power. And it gives you purchasing power when nothing else will. But the real trend is what's happening to this stuff. Its purchasing power value is very near zero. But gold, even manipulated? No. That has use across the entire global economy, every single area. You have the broadest base of buyer. Because there's always demand, therefore there's always acceptance. Real money. But that's not all. Oh no. Additional money is broader investment mandate. Gosh, you want to support the stock markets and the bond markets? Rock and roll hoochie coo. So do you think that the IMF and the members of the IMF have a vested interest in keeping all these things floating? Well, they do until they don't, right? At some point, when confidence in this is lost completely, well, then what they do is they revalue this against this. So they can suppress it artificially as much as they want. At the end of the day, they need it to go to its fundamental value so that they can reset the whole system. But I think that at the end of the day, that the SDR, which is issued by the IMF, is going to end up being the world reserve currency because it's made up of a basket of currencies. And while right now there's a limited basket, there's nothing that says they can't expand that basket to include every single currency in the world. It's just that the percentages would change, but you would still have stronger countries having a greater percentage. So it's logical for that to be the world reserve currency because it's easy to translate it into a local currency. Plus, remember, one of the things that they've talked about quite a bit, one of the goals, is to have all titles held in digital form. It's easier to transfer wealth that way. Very easy. Now, if you've got a chip inside you, you've got your cell phone, you've got a digital currency, you tell me what free will and free choice you'll have. But don't worry, because they'll tell you, just like we're seeing now, it's just for your own good. Because apparently you're too stupid to determine what is in your best interest. That's what this whole channel is about, is helping you make educated choices. You can disagree with me. I'm all right with that. You follow all of those links, come to different conclusions. Rock and roll hoochie coo. I can't tell you that you're wrong. I know a lot of people that are nervous and scared, and they say that they want to buy gold. But then they also want to wait because they see the stock market going up or they see real estate going up in terms of fiat. But is it really those assets going up, or is it the destruction of the purchasing power of this? It is the destruction of the purchasing power of this. This is the plan from the beginning. We are at the end. What do you want to protect your wealth? This or this? For my money, for my efforts and my hard work, and for my family, this is what I want. Gold and silver are both severely undervalued because a rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency.